The final round of the John Deere Classic was supposed to be a coronation for the three co-leaders. Instead, it became a theater of heartbreak, redemption, and family celebration that left golf fans absolutely speechless. Chris Gooderup, the world number 14 and highest-ranked player in the field, came from 5 shots back with a flawless Sunday 62 that included 9 birdies and 0 bogeys. But his victory wasn't sealed by his own brilliance alone. It took a collapse so devastating on the 72nd hole that Ben Coles, a 36-year-old journeyman chasing his first win in his 120th start, will be replaying this moment in his nightmares for years to come. And then, just when everyone thought the drama was over, the tournament itself became the center of a controversy that could change its future forever. Chris Gooderup's victory at TPC Deere Run was already special before he even struck a shot on Sunday. His usual caddy, Brady Stockton, was home with a newborn baby, so Gooderup called up his little brother, Patrick, to carry the bag. It was supposed to be a fun week, a family bonding experience at a tournament that had changed Gooderup's life forever. Gooderup had received a sponsor exemption to the John Deere Classic in 2022 after finishing his college career at Oklahoma, and he tied for 4th in his first notable PGA Tour result. He remained loyal to the tournament ever since, even playing despite having a title to defend across the Atlantic and the Open Championship the following week. That loyalty would be rewarded in the most dramatic fashion imaginable. Just a special week, an emotional Gooderup said on Sky Sports. Even if we didn't play great, it was going to be fine. My brother kind of got me to this point. To have a resurgence today was a lot of fun. You can't have a better day than today. The Gooderup family story is one of resilience. Chris and Patrick grew up together in New Jersey, playing golf at the same clubs, dreaming of the PGA Tour. Patrick never made it as a player, but he became Chris's rock, his confidant, and now his caddy. The bond between the two brothers was evident throughout the final round. Every birdie was met with a fist bump. Every par save was celebrated with a smile. And when the victory was finally secured, the two brothers embraced in a moment that will be remembered for years to come. "That's my best friend out there," Gooderup said of his brother. "To have him on the bag for this one, it just means everything. He's been with me through all the ups and downs. This one's for him." Starting the day at 11 under par and tied for 12th, 5 shots behind the co-leaders, Gooderup needed something special. And he delivered exactly that. He rolled in a 10-foot birdie putt at the first, and from there he was off to the races, making 3 straight birdies on numbers 3, 5, and adding another at the 224-yard par, 3/7, where he stuck his tee shot to just 12 feet. After carding a 5 under 30 on the front 9, 2 more excellent approach shots led to 2 more birdies at numbers 13 and 14, but his hopes of winning hung in the balance on the 15th, when he drove it into the right rough and had to hit a punch shot to avoid a tree, which caromed over the green. His third shot was a tricky one, a 20-yard pitch from the long rough to a green sloping away from him, and he couldn't afford to make a bogey. Gooderup executed it to perfection, throwing his ball high in the air and checking it up less than 3 feet from the flag for a tap-in par. His nerves were tested again at the par 5/17th, but he made a crucial birdie putt from just under 15 feet that gave him the solo lead at 20 under. The front 9 was where the magic truly happened. Gooderup was nearly flawless, hitting every fairway and every green in regulation. His putter was red hot, and he had a look at birdie on almost every hole. The turning point came at the par 5 fifth, where Gooderup hit a majestic second shot to within 15 feet and rolled in the eagle putt to move to 18 under. The crowd erupted. The players on the leaderboard took notice, and Gooderup knew that this was his day. The final round began with 3 co-leaders, Denny McCarthy, Thriston Lawrence, and Mackenzie Hughes. All 3 had a chance to win. All 3 fell apart. McCarthy, the 32-year-old who had never won on the PGA Tour, started the day with a bogey on the first hole and never recovered. He shot 2 over 73, falling from first to a tie for 18th. Lawrence, the South African making his name in the majors, shot 1 over 72 and finished tied for 12th. Hughes, the Canadian who had won once before in his career, shot even par 71 and finished tied for 6th. But it was Ben Coles who suffered the most heartbreaking collapse. The 36-year-old from Dallas, who turned pro in 2012 and only had 2 top 5 finishes in his entire career, was on the verge of his first PGA Tour victory. He hit a perfect drive on the 18th, leaving him with just 162 yards from the middle of the fairway. Then disaster struck. "I was kind of a little in between clubs," Coles said. "I hit an 8-iron and thought 9 was going to be too short, and thought if I hit a full 8, it could have a chance of going over. So I was just trying to hit kind of 3/4 punch shot. Yeah, just tugged it a little and obviously ended up in the water." The tension was palpable. Coles had played flawless golf all day, making birdies on the front 9 and steady pars on the back. He had never led a PGA Tour event going into the final round. He had never been in this position, and when the pressure reached its peak, his swing betrayed him. The ball sailed left, caught the wind, and plunged into the water hazard guarding the front of the green. After taking a drop, Coles went on a 3-putt for double bogey, falling back into a tie for 3rd at 18 under. "I'm proud of the way I played," Coles said. "I played awesome all week. Obviously sucks to just have that happen on the last hole. But hey, I learned a lot about myself." This was Coles' 9th straight week of competitive golf, a stretch that included a win on the Corn Ferry Tour. He had been grinding all year, trying to find his form, and it finally came together at the John Deere Classic. He had played so well for 3.5 days, only to see it all slip away on one swing. The image of Coles walking off the 18th green, head down, eyes red, will haunt him for a long time. Gooderup was on the driving range preparing for extra holes when he was informed Coles had missed his par attempt at the 18th. After nearly an hour of waiting, he could relax. He was brought to tears on the range when he realized he had won. "It's always the goal to come out here and try to win," Gooderup said. "I feel like I've built a relationship with this tournament. Having them give me a spot 4 years ago changed my life. To come back and win is so cool." The victory was his 3rd of 2026 and 5th of his career, moving him to number 7 in the world. The tears on the range were a moment of pure, unadulterated joy. Gooderup had come a long way from the kid who needed a sponsor exemption just to play in the tournament. Now, he was a multiple winner on the PGA Tour, and the John Deere Classic would forever hold a special place in his heart. "To win it the way we did, with my brother on the bag, just makes it all the more special," Gooderup said. "This tournament gave me my start. To be able to give them a win is incredible." The John Deere Classic's drama wasn't just on the course. The final round was played amid a backdrop of confusion and controversy. Earlier in the week, a Golfweek report claimed the PGA Tour had asked John Deere to move the tournament from its longtime home in the Quad Cities to Chicago. Tournament director Andrew Lehman called the report fake. "From our perspective, and I think I speak for our title sponsor, this event is too important to this community," Lehman said. John Deere's ability to host their customers and prospective customers in their hometown during tournament week remains critically important to them. John Deere signed a multi-year extension to continue as title sponsor through 2030. The community has raised $206 million in the tournament's history, 99% of that since John Deere became title sponsor. The tournament has been presented with the Most Engaged Community Award by the Tour 7 times in recent years. The community's response was fierce. Visit Quad Cities President and CEO Dave Harrell issued a powerful statement. "Since 1971, the John Deere Classic has invigorated our resident pride, driven a huge economic impact, boosted tourism, supported hundreds of charities and their mission-critical work every year, and elevated our brand identity and story onto a global stage reaching billions. Lehman emphasized the deep connection. There's so many things that tie this tournament to this community. The longevity, 54-plus years being played here in the Quad Cities. This property right here, John Deere donated the land for this. The PGA Tour eventually backed down, confirming the tournament would remain in the Quad Cities. But the scare had sent a clear message. The Tour's new two-tier system was threatening the future of historic events. The John Deere Classic had survived, but the battle for its future was far from over. The 2026 John Deere Classic was a tournament of extremes. Chris Gooderup's flawless 62, his brother on the bag, the tears on the range, and Ben Cole's devastating finish on the 18th. It had everything that makes golf the most dramatic sport on earth. I'll take a Sunday 62 anytime. I'll pay a lot of money for them too, Gooderup said. But the tournament also raised serious questions about the PGA Tour's future. The proposed two-tier system, with Track 1 and Track 2 events, threatens to relegate historic tournaments like the John Deere Classic to second-class status. The John Deere Classic has proven that it's more than just a golf tournament. It's a community institution, a charity powerhouse, and a symbol of everything that makes the PGA Tour special. But in the new world of professional golf, where money talks and tradition walks, that might not be enough. The questions now are impossible to ignore. Will the John Deere Classic survive the PGA Tour's new structure? Can a tournament that prides itself on being the best version of a Track 2 event remain relevant in the era of $20 million purses? And what does the future hold for the other historic events that are being squeezed out by the chase for money and markets? One thing is certain. The 2026 John Deere Classic will go down in history as one of the most dramatic tournaments ever played. And the man who won it, with his brother on the bag, will never forget it.